A spiritual Psalter, Saint Ephraim the Syrian, Psalm 55. After I have obtained the knowledge of truth, I have become a fighter and wrongdoer. I dispute over small things. I have become envious of and insensitive to my neighbor, without mercy to the poor, angry, quarrelsome, stubborn, lazy, irritable. I retain evil thoughts and I love attractive clothing. Even now I have many polluted thoughts in moments of selfishness, gluttony, pleasure-seeking, vainglory, pride, lust, gossiping, not keeping of fast, depression, hostility, and anger. I am useless, but I think highly of myself. I regularly lie, but become angry with liars. I pollute the temple of my body with licentious thoughts, but strictly judge the licentiousness of others. I condemn those who stumble, but I stumble regularly. I condemn defamers and robbers, but I am both a robber and a defamer. I walked with an illuminated countenance, even though I am very much unclean. In churches and banquets, I regularly want to have the foremost seat. I observe hermits and act honorably. I observe monks and I become arrogant. I struggle to appear pleasing to women, honorable to strangers, smart and sensible to my neighbors, superior to scholars. With the righteous I behave as though I had great wisdom. The foolish I scorn as illiterates. If I am irritated, I take revenge. If I am glorified, I scorn those who glorify me. If someone requests from me what is rightly his, I bring him to court. Those who speak the truth to me I think of as foes. When my fault is revealed, I become angry, but I am not so discontent when I am flattered. I have no interest in honoring those who are worthy, but I, who am unworthy, insist on honor. I have no desire to weary myself with labor, but if someone neglects to serve me, I get upset. I do not want to be found among workers, but if someone neglects to aid me with my work, I speak against him. I haughtily forsake my brother when he is in want, but when I am in want, I turn to him. I loathe those who are sick, but when I am sick, I desire that everyone love me. I do not want to know those who are superior to me, and I disdain those who are beneath me. If I keep myself from satisfying my idiotic desires, I am full of vainglory. If I am successful in being vigilant, I stumble into the traps of pride and contradiction. If I desist from eating, I drown myself in pride and haughtiness. If I am awake in prayer, I am vanquished by anger and irritability. If I observe virtue in someone, I strictly ignore him. I have hated the worldly pleasures, but I do not forsake my vain want of them. If I observe a woman, I am enraptured. To all I appear wise and humble, but in my soul I am prideful. It seems that I am not acquisitive, but in truth I suffer from a desire for goods. But what is the benefit of dwelling on such matters? I appear to have given up the world, but in reality I am always thinking about worldly things. While in the services I am regularly absorbed in conversations, wandering thoughts, and vainglorious memories. While I am at meals I partake of idle conversation. I long for gifts. I am involved in the sinful falls of other people and participate in destructive rivalry. This is my life. What vileness do I employ to ruin my salvation? And in my pride and vainglory I do not allow myself to consider my wounds, so that I might heal myself. See my feats, see how large are the battalions of sins which the adversary sends to war against me. Still, when faced with all this, I, who am a wretch, boast of holiness. I abide in sin, but I want others to glorify me as a righteous person. Yet in all these things I have only one thing to speak of in my defense. The devil has trapped me. But this was not enough to absolve Adam from his sin. Cain was also inspired by the devil, but he did not get free from condemnation. What will I do if the Lord comes to me? I lack the means to justify my apathy. I am afraid I will be counted among those whom Paul has called vessels of wrath, who will endure the same fate as the devil, and whom God, because of their disdain for him, has given them over to shameful lusts. So there is the danger that I will be condemned to the same fate. O merciful Lord, if you will deliver me, the unworthy one, grant me, a sinner, repentance, animate my soul killed with sins, O giver of life. Cast out the stoniness of my wretched heart, and give me a wellspring of remorse, O you who did pour out life for us from your life-giving rib.